Hey, it's ESKO, Let's Go show, and joining me today, it's Tyler, the producer. What's up, Tyler?
What's up?
He's sitting in for KJ today because KJ decided not to go with me to see Andre 3000 play his flute.
Yeah.
So I had to convince Tyler to go with me this past Monday at Thalia Hall in Chicago. Now, you said you didn't know much about Andre 3000, right? You're a younger guy. You're a younger guy. Don't get mad at him. He's a younger guy, okay? So basically, Andre 3000 by himself is one of the greatest rappers of all time. His group, Outkast, the greatest hip-hop group of all time, and just one of the greatest groups in music ever, period. I mean, he's just such a... He was just such a creative person, you know, with fashion, his style, you know what I mean? He's just a guy that always took chances, always took risk, and he took a big risk by making this album, New Blue Sun, okay? Now, I did do a review of this album earlier, and let's just say, wasn't a big fan. Wasn't a big fan.
Oh, yeah, I saw. You were really wanting to know what people were liking of it.
I just didn't understand. It wasn't for me. Look, I'm not, like I said, I came out and said I'm not a jazz person. I'm not a jazz connoisseur. You know what I'm saying? Or a jazz dinosaur. I'm not any of that. You know what I mean? Not any of those things. I gave it a listen when the album came out, and I decided, you know what? It's not for me. And, you know, other people acted like they liked it, and I didn't believe them. That's all I said. But I have nothing but respect for Andre 3000 as an artist because, you know, I told you, Outkast, man, I grew up listening to him and Outkast. Like, I spent a whole summer one year listening to A.T. Aliens. Like, A.T. Aliens, dude. I spent literally every day of the summer, I listened to that album. So, big fan, nothing but respect for Andre 3000. And that's why I wanted to go see him play his flute live. The New Blue Sun Tour. It was at Thalia Hall in Chicago, Pilsen. Monday night, this past Monday night, we went to the show, and I had to go see it with my own eyes because I wanted to give Andre 3000 another chance, and this album another chance, not him another chance. Basically, this album, I was like, what is this? What is going on? Maybe I'll get a better understanding of what's happening here. So we go this Monday night, and to set the tone, as soon as we walk in, it's like dead silent. We were late. So, by the way, we were late, you know, which I wasn't worried about because, you know, I didn't want to wait in line anyway. So we were late. Everyone's already in the venue. We walk in. First thing they do, they take your phone. That's right. And they search you. They make sure you don't have a phone on there. And that right there had me worried. I was like, oh, they definitely don't want this out. Yeah. Whatever's happening in there. So, but they take your phone, they put it in one of those yonder bags, and then the whole staff, they're just whispering. Did you find it weird that everyone was whispering?
Yeah, and it wasn't just like a whisper. It was like, you know, when people are making fun of ASMR kind of whisper. Like, I was like, do you guys all have your own channel or something?
Right. Everyone's just whispering. The security guards, the staff, everyone's just like talking like this. And I'm like, okay. Like, I've never been to a concert where everyone's whispering. And then while they're whispering, I heard sounds coming from the actual venue. From on stage, different sounds. That's how I would describe it. Sounds that were like, sounds like that. And I said, is that him? And they're like, yes. I was like, oh my God, he's already on stage. They're already doing this whole thing. So anyways, they take our phones, they put it in the yonder bag, we check in, and they're like, go up the stairs, go check in. Do you have your tickets? I'm like, yeah, I got my tickets are at will call. I'm talking normal. I was actually talking normal, and they're all whispering. I'm like, yeah, my tickets are at will call. They're like, will call's right around the corner. So we go upstairs, go around the corner, we go to the will call people. They're also whispering. And then I'm telling them, like, hey, where's your tickets? I'm like, yeah, it's on will call. You know, it's under this list. They finally found our name. And then we're like, okay. I was like, where do we go in at? He's like, you go in right there. So we go in right there. We walk into the main floor, and there he is on stage. Can't really see him because it's really dark. It's really dark. And then, like, the whole thing is, like, packed. The place is packed. Place is packed. It was all seats, and all the seats were taken. So we walked around to the bar to stand at the bar for a little bit. We stood there for a little bit, you know, looked at the show. And the main thing that caught my eye first was the fact that there was a street cone, just a street cone on stage, a street cone on stage. And on top of that street cone, there was a glass of water, just a simple glass, clear glass of water. And then a laser coming from this side came through and shot through the glass of water. And the laser would change colors every now and then. So I was like, oh, this is the vibe we're on. Have you ever seen such a thing, Tyler?
No, I've never seen lasers and cones and all that used
No,
together in that way.
together. I wonder why and why the cone with the glass of water and the laser. I would like an explanation for that. We never got the explanation.
He didn't have a table.
Right. I guess so. But I tell you what, the glass never fell.
No.
All that going on stage, the glass never fell. But eventually we decided, you know what, there's no seats down here. Let's just go up to the balcony. I asked them, where's the balcony? They whispered to me, you got to go up the stairs. I was like, okay, that makes sense. So we go up the stairs, we come around the balcony, and then, there's another bar up there. I asked for a glass of water. They gave me that, because I saw the glass sitting on the cone. I got thirsty. So we walk in there. There's no seats. I'm like, where do I go? Is there anywhere to seat? And the one lady helped us out. She's like, see those people over there? I was like, those people over there? They're like, yeah, you just walk around and go stand over there. So we actually walked around, went and stayed on the right side of the stage. And now, how would you think about the balcony? Great view from the balcony.
It was a great view.
I like the balcony at Thalia Hall. So the balcony was cool. We had to stand, which was fine. Everyone else was sitting down. And the whole crowd completely silenced. There's no noise from the crowd at all. All the noises were coming from Andre 3000 and his flute and his band.
Yeah.
So we're standing there. We're standing there, and he's playing the flute, and then he's making these noises, woo, like that. And every now and then I would jump every time I heard a sharp noise, right? But eventually, not gonna lie, I started to get into it.
You did.
I did get into it. I did get into it. Like, the longer we were there, the more I got into it. My imagination couldn't help but run with the sounds that he was making. Now, I would say this. Like, he had a whole roll of flutes. He had like a whole roll of flutes. You said you looked up what kind of flute he played? What kind of flute he play?
A contrabass, the electric, bamboo, and the Mayan flute.
Right. He had all of them. All those flutes on stage. He would go down, switch them out. Once he switched out that first flute we heard, I think he started to make better sounds, I would say. Yeah. He seemed to find like a rhythm, you know what I mean? Like a rhythm and beats and different things he was doing,
Yeah, he did. And like with the second like hand flutes that he was doing, like he had two of them.
Right, those little ones.
That one, but that was pretty cool.
That was pretty. See what I'm saying?
And it was a neat transition to like something else. He kind of like faded it away from this more ancient sound to like a more modern sound.
Right. He took the big flute he was playing, he put that down, he went to the floor, he grabbed these two little flutes and he started going on them, and that sounded better. Yeah. For sure. It's definitely better. And then there was a whole lot of lights and everything was going on. Lasers still going through the glass of water. I think that was my favorite thing.
It was.
Right, it was. And then he sounded better, I was like, okay. And then, like I said, while listening to it, I was like, okay, like my imagination started running, and then like hearing it and got like sped up and then like I was like, you know what? I leaned to you and I told you, I was like, you know what this sounds like? This sounds like, you ever watch any of those nature videos? Right? If you watch like a nature video and there's like a little cub or something running through the jungle or the forest, or maybe like a bird flying around, all frantically. I was like, that's what it sounded like. Did you not feel the same thing?
Yeah, once you said it, I was like, this is where I've heard this before.
That's what it felt like. Like, that was the vibe, and then it got like really dramatic, and then that dramatic sound, I was like, oh, this sounds like, like a rhinoceros giving birth. Mainly, like, Ace Ventura, you said you'd never seen this movie. Ace Ventura 2, Pet Detective, Jim Carrey. He's like, there's this part in the movie where he's like in a mechanical rhinoceros, and he like basically is being born when he gets out of the rhinoceros, and that's what it reminded me of. The sounds.
I'm familiar enough with Jim Carrey to kind of imagine how that went.
You can look it up. You can look up the highlights. But the longer we got there, the more I started getting into it. The best part though was like when he stopped the music. He took a break and he actually addressed the crowd and he talked to the crowd. And I thought that was the best part because, again, to hear him actually speak, I was like, oh my God, that's really Andre 3000 up there. I listened to this guy talk and rap my whole life. So it was cool to hear his voice and like in person and him to talk to the crowd. And once he said something, remember, the crowd was completely silent. Once he said something, though, the crowd just went crazy. Yeah. Everyone was dying to make noises. That's what it was. Everyone was dying to say something, but the crowd was silent. He said something. He welcomed everybody, and he proved my point. What I said when I initially had a review about the album, I said he had no plan. He had no plan making this album. He went in there and he just started making noises. That's what I said about the album. And he said it himself. He goes, guys, we're really, this ain't like your normal show. We don't have like a plan. I'm improvising because I don't have, I'm just going off my memory, summarizing what he said because, like I said, they took our phones, couldn't record.
Yeah.
So he basically said, this is kind of like the album. It's not like a planned performance. We're just kind of making it up as we go along. And I was like, boom! I was like, right there. That's exactly what I said. And people got mad at me. He said it. They're just making it up. They went in there and they started making noises and they were just making it up as they went along. And he was just going with the vibe, going with the flow. So I was right.
Yeah, he's been very proud of this moment.
I am very proud of this moment because I said it and people were mad at me.
And I thought my favorite part of it was right after he made that announcement and addressed the crowd and people are kind of getting crazy. He went on to the xylophone for a little bit.
Yes.
And it was just the greatest thing because he was being a little weird with it, but he finally found a groove. And when he found that groove, he was trying to kind of repeat it. And in searching for those notes, he just looked like my cat when I poured water into his bowl and he's trying to see if the water's actually in there or not.
Right, exactly. He was like, he found a cool rhythm. He did play the xylophone. He was like, doom, doom, ding, doom, 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 ding. Right? Remember? He was like, do, 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 ding. And then it would fall, do, 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 ding. So it was pretty cool. The xylophone was cool. Yeah, and then he also said, like I said, the nature video thing, right? He also told the crowd, he's like, hey, man, you guys don't have to be quiet. You guys can make noise, make an animal noise or anything. I was like, see, we're right. Nature videos, dude. He knows. So me and him, surprisingly, I do understand what he was doing.
You really do.
I didn't think I did, but I do understand it. And it was better seeing him do it live, and that's what really got me. Am I going to sit around and listen to his album? No, but I would go see him do it again live. Like, it wasn't bad.
See, he doesn't need to release an album. He needs to release a nature documentary. That would be,
right.
That'd be better.
Right. I liked it, though. It was a good experience. And how about his band? The percussionist is the star of the show, though.
Oh, the percussionist went wild.
The percussionist, he had all kind of things, dude. What was that? He had like I don't even know what he had. He had like something that was like weird. It was like a shaky thing. He was like shaking it. What was that? It looked like a bunch of leaves.
It did. It reminded me of like elementary school. You had that one day of music class where you had all these percussion instruments there,
right?
And like the maracas, the triangle, and the guy was just going ham with all of them.
He had everything, dude. He was working. He had the little cymbals too, didn't he? Like the finger cymbals.
He did.
He was jamming. And then at one point, I swear, neon whipping it around. Now you're telling me it's not a neon.
No, I don't know what it is, but it is a toy or something.
He was whipping this thing around. It was neon. It was long. I was like, okay, I don't know. Did it make noise? I don't know, but he was whipping it. I thought he was going to helicopter away.
Yeah, it almost makes like a lightsaber noise.
And you were like, that's not I was like, I don't know, dude. I was like, there's a glass sitting on top of a cone. I mean, what else would I expect?
Anything's fair play right now.
Anything's fair play. But yeah, and then the crowd did start making animal noises.
Yeah.
Yeah. What animal noises did you hear people make?
I heard definitely a few birds and a lot of cacaws.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of the crowd got into it. The crowd started to get into it. But overall, I liked it. I did enjoy it. And it was a pretty cool experience. For a Monday night, like, come on. I got to see Andre 3000 play his flute. I would prefer him to rap, but you know what? I still got to see that guy. The guy is so effortlessly cool, Guy's a legend, so.
Yeah, now I could say I saw Andre 3000 in concert.
How many people can say that? Not many.
Not many, especially at my age.
Exactly. You saw him play the flute.
Yeah.
Multiple flutes, not just one flute. All the flutes, all the flutes. So it was pretty good.
Xylophone.
It was pretty good. So I think he's going to San Francisco next. I would tell everyone go see it, dude. I've seen dozens of shows, made probably over 100 by now, and I could say I ain't never seen nothing like that. But I liked it. I'm into it now.
Yeah.
Guess what? I was right. Most important thing, I was right. He had no plan. He went in there, started making noises. He was freestyling basically, and that's what he said. We're just freestyling. We're just going with the flow. We have no plan. And I was right. Everyone that was mad at me, just know I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
Yeah, they gotta forgive you for that one.
And then we went, and then we didn't stay the whole time. We left early Cause I got,
you kind of need to.
I got hungry. You know what I'm saying? We went
Yeah.
across the street. Sky. That place is the bomb. Do you like Sky? That restaurant?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I tried another wing place after that, and the chicken wasn't as good as the chicken they had there. So all chicken's ruined at this point.
Fried chicken at Sky in Pilsen. Must have.
Absolutely.
Right. And that chicken was amazing, you know?
It was.
Pretty
Even
good.
the rice or whatever the heck was with it, that was
Oh,
good
yeah,
too.
like the corn.
Yes,
the corn that was around it, and they put the habanero sauce in there. That was a bomb. And then we got like the edamame puree, which I was shocked that it came out puree. I was like, oh, normally I'm just used to eating it naturally. But yeah, that was good too. So
You remember what those chips were?
it was like some rice thing, right?
Oh, you already forgot.
What was it?
I don't remember.
It's good though.
Was good.
So if you ever go to a show at Thalia Hall, right across the street, Sky, it's just a door. You would miss it. We walked right by it the first time.
Yeah.
And then we saw like windows and then we saw them into the kitchen.
Yeah,
We walked
luckily
around.
you were looking in people's windows.
Right, exactly. We walked around, just pulled the door open, and boom, whole restaurant in there. You know what I mean? And then walking out, it just like clobbered two women that were leaning on the door because they didn't even know. See what I'm saying? That's how hidden the door is. I'm like walking out. I'm like, oh, there's somebody behind it. They're like, oh, we didn't even know that this place was open.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's open. I'm sorry, guys. But gotta go. That was it. All right, buddy. This was nice. Everyone go see Andre 3000. Peace.
Absolutely.